If you just clicked on to this video and are thinking, I do have an exam coming up and I do need to ace the exam, but then how do I go about it? If you have had this swelling in your mind, you're not alone. I too had it in my mind a couple of years ago. So, in this video, you're going to get answers to these questions. Stay tuned. Hey guys, you're welcome to my channel. If you like the content, please hit the subscribe button and bell icon to get notified every time I post a new video. Today, I'm going to give you 7 tips on how to ace your exams at your first attempt. I won't beat about the bush, I'm going to drop it like it's hot and fast. So let's start. Tip number 1 is start early. The fact is, the earlier you start studying and preparing for your exams, the better. I know, for some of you guys, the exams could be 3 years away, or could be 2 years away, or no, it could be a year away or a couple of months. More than just enough time to study, right? Absolutely not. Start early to gather information, sorting them out, studying and internalizing them. I assure you, an early start helps you get organized much earlier, far ahead of time for your exams. Tip number 2 is use the internet. The World Wide Web is a virtual bank of almost anything one can think of. Studying for your exams today is incomparable to those who studied 2 decades ago. Don't hesitate to use the internet to search for materials or information that will help you ace your exams. All you need is a computer or a phone with internet connection. Tip number 3 is know your theory. Now check this out. You're not in the classroom, but having a practical session somewhere in the lab. You've just started the session newly. My advice to you is to read up on the theory and know it. Now, why do I say this? Well, firstly, it gives you an idea of what the curriculum in it is all about, and it keeps you from being detached, especially while you're being taught or even when you're asked questions. Secondly, it helps you to memorize activities better, as you can now see and do what you just read previously. Finally, it helps you in your exam preparations, as you won't have to pile up books to read, especially in the days leading up to the exam. Tip number 4, read to understand, don't just cram. Now, this is very important. Let me ask you a question. What you cram today could just stay in your short-term memory and may not last long till your exams. However, reading to understand could probably last you a lifetime. In addition, whichever way the examiners choose to twist an exam question will matter to you because you already understand the basics. Tip number 5 is summarize your notes. You could use textbooks, notes, or PowerPoint presentations and try to write a summary in a notebook. Now, this leaves you with a synopsis that's easier to read, and since you wrote it down, you will get to remember it better. Though it may take you time and effort to get it done, the end definitely justifies the means and is a lot more worthwhile. Now, tip 6 is never assume, always ask questions. Asking others questions is a fast and easy way of clearing one's doubts. Now, asking the right questions could help you ace your exams. Now you may ask me how? Well, you could ask where to focus or where to concentrate on from lecturers and your seniors. They do have more experience and will lead you in the right direction. Most times after you've asked those questions or you've had those questions answered, you will be advised to write them down. Assuming you know everything or you're too intelligent to ask questions will be foolhardy. So it will leave you being the last to get vital information from elsewhere. After all, learning doesn't only come from reading books. Tip number 7, and one of the most important, is to know the rules of the exam. There are a lot of things to know about your upcoming exams. Now, if you've been constantly asking questions like, when will the exams take place? How many parts of the exam are there? How much time is allotted to each part of the exam? How many theory questions do I have to answer? Do I need to sit or stand during the oral exams? Now, asking these questions will steer you in the direction of knowing what the rules are. That's how you familiarize yourself with the rules and regulations of the exam. However, some are formal, written inside brochures or websites, while others are sought by, as I said earlier, asking questions. So be sure to ask so that you can be several steps ahead and closer to acing your exams at your first attempt. If you're going to stop this video right now, pause, because I have a bonus tip to give you. Sorry I didn't mention it earlier. I wanted it to be a surprise. The bonus tip is have a winning mindset and avoid anxiety. Even though you've done, or you may have done, the initial 7 steps I mentioned to you earlier to a T, knowing you have prepared for the exam and not feeling too anxious as the D-Day approaches is essential. The winning mindset just embodies a positive thinking mentality and having no doubts about your success at the end of the exam. These are very important and will lead you on your way to acing your exams at your first attempt. Let's recap. 7 tips to acing your exams at first attempt include: start early. Use the internet. Know the theory. Read to understand. Don't just cram. Summarize your notes. Never assume. Always ask questions. And know the rules of the exam. The bonus tip is to have a winning mindset and avoid anxiety. I hope you enjoyed the video, but if you have any comments or suggestions, please place it in the comment section below.